What's up, weirdos, and welcome to the Weirdoverse. I'm your tour guide through strangeness, JD Ross, and you are listening to Weird Wide. I've got not one, but two witchy ladies to come on today to talk about today's topic. So please let me introduce my beautiful wife, Trina Ross, and one of my best friends, Natalie Katona. Everybody, welcome to the show.
I feel like Trina should get to go first with saying the thank you because she married you.
That's true. That's true.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's right. There's perks. There's some perks, you know.
There's perks. Like you get wife privileges.
That's right.
Oh, I feel so honored and privileged.
You
To be
should.
able to speak first on your podcast.
That's right. That's right. So today we are going to get metaphysical. We are going to be talking about the weird world of tarot.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Yeah,
I'm
we
allowed
are.
to curse.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. You're allowed to curse. We curse. We curse all the time.
We're an adult program.
That's
I
right.
don't think I could do it if that wasn't the case.
Right. That's
true.
what I'm saying. I was like, did he invite us on here and we have to keep it PG?
Like, hey, everybody, like, let's try to watch the language, okay? Let's keep that, okay?
Fuck that.
Yeah,
Fuck
right?
that.
Exactly. Fuck that. I don't think, like, honestly, I feel like if I didn't drop F-bombs left and right, I think people would get suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
So-
sure.
Let's talk about tarot. So tarot is, I still don't fully understand it myself. I've had readings.
Yeah.
It's basically some kind of like divination. Did I say that right? Divination?
Divination.
Divination. Yeah. Through the use of a deck of cards.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You got
So,
it. That's
yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
that's pretty much that.
Another tidbit that I learned today I learned, is when it was created in the Renaissance,
Mhm.
it was a playing game. Like they used these beautiful hand-painted, crafted cards to play, like, I don't know, Cards Against Humanity. Like they just had games that they played with them.
Nice.
Yeah. And then other people got them and started using them as a divination tool to tell the future or whatever. Wikipedia wasn't kind about it. They were like, and then there was some like unfounded reason to use them to fake tell the future. I'm like, I don't like this attitude.
Like Wiki coming through with a bunch of unnecessary
Like,
twos.
okay, Wikipedia, like,
Yeah.
you understand you're anti-witchcraft. Like,
Right. We get it.
Well, this is just proof that Wiki cannot always be trusted because, like, it just sounds like they're trying to silence witches.
Yeah. Which we refuse.
I don't care for that.
exactly.
I don't care for it. So, okay, so how does it all work then? Like, because, like, I still don't quite understand, like, how the cards tell the future.
Sure.
And we're going to do readings on this episode, too.
Yeah, we are. We're going to do it. So now I'm going to have to remember numbers. Thank goodness I marked this. So there are 78 cards in one standard tarot deck. They're broken into two categories, the major arcana and the minor arcana.
Okay.
So 22 of those cards are like your most important cards. Like when you pull a major arcana, or if you pull multiple major arcana, like my fuckery likes to do,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, fuck, I'm really into it. Yeah. And they start from 0 to 21.
Mhm.
And it's the 0 card is the Fool. And the major arcana kind of tell this like really nifty story
Mhm.
about the Fool like moving around his journey.
Okay.
It gives me like
So, like-
Canterbury Tales vibes when I think about it.
Mm. I
Yeah.
like the Fool card. I always like, I think it's like the whole idea of Fool is like people think it's bad, but like it actually kind of,
Not necessarily bad.
Yeah.
well, yeah, and that is similar to a lot of the major arcana cards too. Like I think the traditional decks have death and
Mhm.
Mhm.
devil and like things like that, which don't necessarily mean that you're going to die if you
Right, because that's what I would assume is like if I get the death card, like, oh, fuck, like, that's not good.
Yeah. So like
I think it means mostly that something in your life has to come to a close or an
Okay.
end or a
Yeah, there's
passing, if you
something
will.
coming to completion, and death, like there's also a transformation,
Mhm.
rebirth,
Mm-hmm.
like a cycle of life almost is kind of like that card, what that card kind of typically
Mhm.
represents for me. But yeah, like the major arcana for me is very much it kind of has like these are your major um life events,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and like your um just kind of like big things that are happening
Mm-hmm.
in your life to like, and just overall story.
Yeah.
Right. Like a card that I became very intimate with during the quarantine and pandemic was the Tower, to the
Mhm.
point where I now, a friend gifted it to me as a necklace charm, and I wear it
Gnarly.
proudly to be like, my life is always crumbling.
Oh,
Welcome. Because that's
see,
what the tower is. The tower is like, oh, like death is almost like a soft passing of whatever it is that needs to
weird.
take completion.
Yeah.
The tower is on fire. It is literally crumbling. And it's like, get ready because things are going to change and it's going to be unexpected and like world changing for you. You will
Fuck.
have to rebuild.
See, this is like I couldn't bullshit my way through a tarot reading because like when I think of like a tower,
Mm-hmm.
my instinct goes to like, okay, like that's like built up, like so
Yeah.
that's something like, so like wow, that's like worse than the death card though.
Yeah, it literally
Okay.
means that the thing that you kind of built your present around,
Mhm.
fuck it.
Wow.
Like literally say goodbye to it. It's gone. We lit it on fire. Try
Wow.
something new.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
I think
gnarly.
it I mean, that I would say that's probably a, yeah, that's pretty extreme. I think more of like surprises, like surprise,
Oh.
um,
See, I never would have thought of that. Like I would never think of a tower thing. Oh shit,
Yeah.
surprise.
like something unexpected,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
like an unexpected change that is significant in your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did the scary version because when you're with a group of tarot readers and you like ask them like what's the card that you hate drawing? There's like, oh, the tower. I don't want the
Mm.
tower. I don't want to deal with a quick like set of circumstances just like throwing me off my game.
Yeah.
No.
I
Do
can
you
see that. Like that, I mean, just having to adapt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite card or a card that when you get Trina, you're like, ugh?
um, so one card, overheard you say that you pull a lot of major arcana cards when you
Mm-hmm.
do stuff. I also do that too. And one that I typically pull a lot, there's two that I typically pull a lot. It's the Chariot
Mm-hmm.
and Strength.
Ah,
And so those two have kind of become uh I just automatically get excited because like it kind of feels like it's representing me being on the right track for
yeah.
me at that very point in time, and it's like, okay,
It's like a good indicator. Like keep
it's like a
doing
validation
yes.
for me.
Yeah.
Word.
For the last 2 years, when I sat around New Year's and did my like, what will the year bring? And I mapped out my year where you like pull a qualifier, like this is going to be the main theme of your year. This is going to be the main like obstacle in your year. And then you go
Yeah.
month by month and see how that's going to play out. For the past 2 years, the like theme of my year has been the Queen of Pentacles. And the
Ooh.
Pentacles is our suit, I almost said sweet, that represents the element for earth in its money, prosperity, the physical world, health, body, work, and resources. So I was like,
Hell yeah.
hell yes, bitch. Like, thank you so much. And like that first year, I was so amped because of like all of the creative things that I was doing. And then I wasn't making money. And then the second year, she was like, bitch, I'm not done with you. And I pulled her again.
So she's like on her time though. Like
Yeah.
not like
Yeah.
you're like you see that and you're like, okay, cool. So like by March this should be like
Right.
solid. But
Yeah.
like she's like, nah, bitch, like you gotta fucking wait. You gotta keep going.
And you got to
You gotta
work.
wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta put in the work, put in the time.
And then I think like the cards that I draw for the months like very much represent that. They're like, okay, like at this point, you're going to be really solid on knowing what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the other cards will kind of be like, and this is how you're going to carry it out, or this is how you're going to get like a curveball and have to like swerve a little.
Dude, that's fucking gnarly. Like, okay, it's making me think of Doctor Strange, like the artifact picks you, like with this whole like the different ones picking you. That's so like I don't know if I have one of those. Like I said, I've had a few readings, but
Trina, I want to hear, how did you get your first deck? How did you first like get into tarot? So my very first deck, and I'm sure I have it somewhere, but it would take me a while to try to dig it out and actually figure out where it is. But I was definitely in my late teens when I got my very first deck. And it was a traditional tarot deck. But it had like a stained glass type. It was really, really pretty. And it just kind of called to me.
That's another thing is I know what, like when you and I have been in metaphysical stores, you have said like that one doesn't call to me, and it's like, oh shit.
That's how I pick my rocks.
Okay.
Yeah, same. That's how I pick my rocks too. Is like, now I know that like there's like something where it's like you're not supposed to buy your own
fuck it
tarot decks, and I'm like,
who's gifting tarot decks? Who's just finding them on a street? Like, I feel like we've moved away from that antiquated like view of thinking.
Like, it definitely has a, like, for me anyway, it's if I find a particular deck inspiring, or like it's like, okay, I feel like this deck might have a significant message for me. Like, that's kind of like where I'm like how I pick it. But I've really been, the deck that I'm using now has been the deck that I've used for years now, and I love it. It's called the Good Tarot. And so you were talking about how the pentacles are associated with the element earth. So in this deck, rather than pentacles, it is actually, so like it's like the queen of earth. Is like what you're saying. And so like so all of my suits are earth, air, water, and fire, instead of the pentacles, cups, wands, and swords.
Oh yeah, that's another fun thing, JD. When you buy a new deck, you have to relearn how to read your own goddamn deck.
Oh, because like they change it every, like each one is like, it's like the same but different.
Kind of.
Okay, so like, because I've seen like there was one that I saw, it was like dragons, and so they would have like different dragons representing like swords. Or
that might have been an oracle deck, because I think I have it. What did the cover look like?
It had a badass like silver dragon, I think, maybe a blue dragon.
No, mine has a red dragon on it, but
it was definitely a cool color, like not like not a warm color. Like it was definitely like in the blues or the silvers, and it was really bad. I wish I would have gotten it, like, because I remember we were in that store in Maryland.
Oh, it called to you and you ignored it?
I did.
I love when I'm like, oh, you ignored that.
Also, you totally fucked with fate. So you've unraveled the weave of fate, and you've just decided that you can take on fate yourself. What an asshole!
That could only work out so well for you. Good job. So yeah, they'll change it up. I tend to only buy tarot decks that have a handy dandy guidebook with them.
Makes sense.
So I am learned in my deck. But is the Good Tarot deck the one that has no negative connotations to it whatsoever?
Yes. That is like generally, it keeps everything on a more positive note. Which for me, when I'm pulling tarot anyway, like I don't know if you do this or if this is just me, but I do a little prayer kind of meditation and just kind of like ask for guidance, and I ask for messages when I'm first starting. So
just kind of like spiritually preparing yourself.
And I only want to receive messages from the highest power for good. And I only
Mm-hmm.
want to receive messages from my personal spirit guides for my personal card. Like if I'm reading for someone else, like I'm going to ask their spirit guides
Yeah.
because they know them better than I do. But yeah, like I want the positive messages. I don't want to be dipping my toe into the
Yeah.
negative that I can't see because there's no, I don't want to.
That's kind of how I use my oracle decks. I'll sit down, I'll light a candle, and I use the shuffling as my meditation part where I'm like really thinking about either my question, if it's tarot, or my like, where am I headed next, if it's my oracle deck. And I'll shuffle, and I'll have like my great music on and my candle going. And then I'll pull one oracle card, and whatever the message is from that card, I try to make sure that my meditations and whatever rituals I'm doing are geared towards that message until I feel that that message is no longer relevant, or I've like run out of ways that I can think to bring it into my everyday.
So how often do you pull cards, would you say, for yourself?
So I do a daily poll in the morning, but it's not one of mine. It's part of one of my horoscope apps. So I poll daily. Um, but then I was doing a really great job of making sure I had a monthly like large spread. And then I fell off of it because that's what I do. I
Yeah.
create
We
routines.
both get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I create routines for myself just literally to drop them and be like, why? Why would I though?
Yeah.
Um and and then I try to do the big yearly poll. And then I honestly sometimes it's just like if I can't catch the vibe on what's going on with me, because when I read, like I'm asking my question and I'm shuffling and I'm thinking about it, but instead of trying to like read outside sources that are trying to pivot me, I leave that up to the oracle decks. When I'm pulling tarot for myself, I'm literally drawing from like my inner, you know what's going on. Like we know what's happening, and try to
Like that
put
that's like that highest self, like the
mm-hmm.
your most
Intuition.
inner.
Yeah. Like I let my power guide the tarot because to me, it's like a journal entry. It's like I know what I'm feeling. I just don't know where that feeling is placed in my body and what's happening. So when I read the art or the cards or whatever, I go, I know exactly what that one means. I know exactly what that one's referring to. And I just write it out. I write out all of my polls.
Yeah, I do find journaling out the cards
Mm-hmm.
brings me way more insight on them than just like reading, like just like pulling them and then just interpreting them quickly.
Yeah.
Like before we got on here, I did a quick pull. I didn't do any kind of journaling or anything. I just pulled it because just to see what I got. I'm very inconsistent with my tarot. It is something that like it's just random for me.
Yeah.
Like I'll just kind of have a, oh, you know what? I kind of feel like doing this today. Let's see what the cards have to say for me.
So you just let it call to you sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
and I really had to, because I can get really uptight if I've let something slip or whatever. And then it's like going to the gym. Well, why would I go back? I haven't done it in this many weeks. Like they're all better than me now.
I
Why
get
would I
that.
go back? It's going to be hard. So when it came to like daily meditation and trying to like reground myself, I had to reprogram in my head what counted as meditation. If I disassociate and swing on the porch swing for 30 minutes, just watching the squirrels, that was
That
meditative.
counts. Yeah.
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 That's why
Yeah.
I do like a purposeful, like in my morning routine, a 10-minute one every morning. Like I don't skip it. I don't there are some apps I don't even open until after I've done it.
Mhm.
Like I have to do it.
I used to count my morning pages when I was writing morning pages as part of the artist way as meditation too, because it's literally just you wake up and for
Mhm.
30 minutes you just dump out whatever comes to the page.
Yeah.
And you're not even supposed to think about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
One cool thing that I've realized, and Trina, if you're down for this, we should do it, is how cool it is to do your own reading, send a picture of it to someone and be like, but what did you get out of it?
Ooh.
And like do
Mm.
partner readings or readings as a group. I was with a group one time and we would do Tarot Tuesdays and we would all be assigned a number and you drew for the person that was next in line. And then the last person drew for the first person. And we all talked about how the cards connected, how it was a general theme, the patterns that we were seeing, because we were all trying to answer the same question, but for different people. And then the facilitator of that would also do a really deep dive into this week. We're only talking about pentacles and we're going to do pentacles for the next several weeks from 1 until they're done. And then I started to learn so much about my own goddamn deck, because when you're looking at just chunks of it, you're like, oh, in my deck, every pentacle has this symbol in it. Like I
Mhm.
never knew.
Yeah, that sounds
That's
awesome.
badass.
I love
Yeah.
the idea of like, because like we all interpret our own readings in a, based on our own biases, but I love having somebody interpret the cards for like,
Yeah.
in their own words.
And I don't get a lot of opportunities for someone to poll for me.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the
Same.
Midwest. So
Well, I'm in PA, so
yeah.
I'm in
It's
Amish
not much
country.
better.
I'm in Amish country, so I'm probably
Yeah.
gonna burn for having this conversation.
That's true. Yeah, if they
I would-
find out, we're definitely gonna get burned at the stake.
I want to design a t-shirt that says, burn the switch, I dare you.
Dude, that's fucking metal. I love
I
it.
can't find imagery that I like yet, but I'm like, one of these days.
Dude, yeah, you need to put that shit together. You need to get that on your merch store ASAP.
Mhm.
Fucking love it. All right, so we've talked about tarot. I say we do some reading. So how
Okay.
who's doing how we doing this?
I had planned to do a 3-card poll where it's like, this is what's coming back to you from the past. Like, this is what currently is going on now. And this is where you're going.
All right.
No.
Okay.
Who wants
That's
it?
very cool.
I want it. I want the
You
first
want it?
one.
Okay.
It's my show. And I am a Leo after all.
Yes. You get to go first. Sorry for all the angles that your audience is about to see of like my chin. All right. So usually I make the person while I'm shuffling, especially when we're doing a digital reading,
Yeah.
because it's hard for you to like connect with the cards physically
Right.
and have them be like with you because
Yeah.
we're on Zoom.
Right.
But I have you like close your eyes, and as I shuffle, we're both concentrating on
Okay.
the purpose of the reading.
Okay.
Now, your purpose of the reading can be completely different than mine. Like, I'm just going to be focusing on give me the past that's
Okay.
affecting him, what's going on now, where are we headed. But if you have something specific that you want to throw in there, that's fine.
I'm gonna let it say blank and see where it goes.
Yeah.
All right, so close my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This will be riveting for your audience to just watch me shuffle.
That's
I
right.
like the meditative stance that
That's
you're
right.
taking.
That's right. For everybody who's just listening on the audio, you're missing out. You got to go to the YouTube.
You can probably find some royalty-free like meditation music.
That's true. That's a really good idea for right here. Cue the music.
All right. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. All right. Trina, do you do reversals?
I do not.
I always have to.
I have like kind of like messed around, but to me,
If I don't like what the cards are telling me and there are reversals, then I look up the reversal and I'm like, oh, that makes more sense.
I guess okay, I can see that. Where if if the card doesn't make sense, or like if I can't like make it fit in the rest of the whole, like
Yeah.
I'll read the reversal and see if that makes more sense, but generally no, I don't.
Okay, so for your past, you got the Page of Pentacles.
Okay.
Oh, that's actually showing up better than I thought it would. So our page is like literally just like our young person of the suit.
Okay.
And remember that pentacles connect to the earth and to our material possessions and our money or whatever.
Okay.
When I look at it, I think, well, chance is going to play a part in my success too. That's what I get from the art. Is there
Okay.
anything that you're drawing in from the art that you're focused on?
I don't know. I see like he's got that bindle going on, and he's got the
Mhm.
the little kitty cat, and it seems like he's on an adventure.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it seems
And
like adventure kind of
yeah,
that's what I'm feeling with it.
like the journey and the path and all
Yeah.
of it. And he
Yeah.
doesn't really know if he should be following that cat or whatever,
But he's about to.
but he's about to. And there's like a chill lizard hanging out.
Oh, there totally is. I would totally follow that cat too. So like that actually really that does
I
kind
just
of resonate.
I just read my own deck, Ron. That's actually the Page of Wands.
Oh
One
shit.
of-
Never mind.
Never mind. God. Looking at it, I was like, where's the pentacle? Oh, it's not there because this is wands. All right.
I would still
That was
follow
my
that cat.
bad.
I would still follow the kitty.
Of course we would. So actually my interpretation of this card is look to the past for guidance you've missed. Oh, that makes sense because this is your
Okay.
past card.
Okay, look
See
to
how
the
the-
past.
See how the
Okay.
reading changes and makes sense once you're actually reading them correctly.
Huh.
And then the people who wrote the guidebook and the people who came up with the arcana meanings,
Mhm.
when they pull the Page of Wands, they think of new beginnings, kind of like you picked a new path and that's what got you here.
Okay.
And like, or a young person in your life needs advice or whatever. But like, we're not talking about them right now. We're
Yeah.
talking about us.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's like an eagerness or an enthusiasm, which I think really connects to your past because that's
Yeah.
why we're friends, because
Yeah.
we were so eager and enthusiastic to do shit like this on the internet.
100%. 100%. And then like I started with the one, I went in a couple different directions until I really and here we are in the
And here we are.
Weirdoverse. Fuck yeah.
So I like to
Okay.
do, yeah.
Page in general, like it doesn't matter what suit it comes from. Pages are journeys. They're new beginnings, fresh
Okay.
start.
Feeling
Yeah.
okay, especially considering we're doing this on the show, feeling super good about that card. I love it.
All right.
Fuck yeah.
And
Tarot.
wands, because wands, you got 2 out of 3 wands. So I am
Okay.
going to tell you that wands is our suite that like is our energy, our motivation, our
Okay.
passion, readings for purpose, spirituality, and new ideas.
Okay.
I'm going to make a disclaimer for your audience. I am fully reading out of my notebook where I studied my own deck and read the passages and took notes because there are 78 cards in a motherfucking deck.
Yeah.
You have to take notes. I have
You
the
have
same
to take
thing.
notes.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. All right. I just wanted to be clear.
All good.
Your present
Okay.
is our 7 of swords.
Okay.
Our dude with 7 swords.
Bitchin'. I love it.
So our swords, I have some people who have some things with swords because our swords are like our thoughts, our words, our actions. But like people don't like the visual of a sword because it's like so visceral. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, but swords get things fucking done.
They do. Like they've always gotten things
They're
done.
powerful. What you
Right.
think you create.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let me flip. 7 of swords. All right. So when I connected with this card, my initial interpretation was you're trying to be quiet about what it is you're thinking of or what it is you're carrying with you. How are we feeling about that? Is there something that like you think like I'm not ready to go huge with this thought or feeling or anything?
I don't know. Maybe just a little bit of self-doubt.
Yeah.
A little bit of like, because that was like one of the issues I had, just since we're doing like basically like about the show, is like how
Yeah.
it's kind of feeling for me here. Little bit of like, can I do this on my own? Like,
Right. And
can I be the one to fucking shoulder all of this shit?
well, because you've been partnered mostly
Right.
for your other content. And
Right.
then I think also like because I also had to do it on my
Yeah.
own with my show in the middle of my
Very
show.
unexpectedly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always thought about like, that stings, but
Yeah.
it's not necessarily a sting that I need to carry or
Right.
process every day. Like it's something that happened.
Yeah.
And everyone's creative journey is going to take them somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, by the way, this one was also in reverse, so it could be that you're actually ready to be loud about something.
Okay. Well, then I
Um,
feel like actually that makes sense, because like I feel like I kind of am. I mean,
yeah.
I've started doing the thing, like it's a thing now.
And then the arcana side of it wants to
Mhm.
remind you that currently you have to take everything that you learned in the past when you were pivoting and things like that,
Mhm.
and now be alert and present in the
Word.
situation that you're in and listen to those instincts, because that's what's going to carry you.
Word. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's making a lot of sense.
All right, you ready to see where we're going?
Yeah, I am. It's fucking gnarly, dude. I'm loving this.
I hardly get to read for other people too, because like I forget to take it to parties, because it only takes one person at a party to not be into it, and it's like, oh, I offended someone.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I usually think that way.
Well,
Somebody could be offended.
Trina, I don't know if you get insecure about the way that we practice, but sometimes I'm like, I don't want to be the person at the party who is like, hey, I'm a witch, let's do tarot, because it almost feels like doing like communion at dinner, and it's like, we don't need to.
It's like, all right, everybody take hands, we're gonna pray now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I can yeah.
Definitely, yeah. I definitely struggle like this. Being on camera and pulling tarot is definitely outside of my comfort zone.
See?
Yeah.
And I mean, people have been mad. They're like, I went to a bachelorette weekend and they were like, you didn't even think to bring one of your decks. We meant to text you. And I was like, some of these people I don't know.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be the person who made the party weird, because some of you like when I read for you, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a whole house thing.
That's true. That's true.
And then like, I don't know about you, but like, for other, like this isn't so bad when there are people that are comfortable with tarot and like understand it, but like people who are just kind of like, they're not familiar with it and they're just wanting to experience it. Like I also get very nervous thinking like wanting to pull, like for having them wanting me to pull for them, because it's like,
what are their expectations? Like, what are they like?
Well, that, and it's like, okay, so like this is my interpretation of this card, and it's like, on a certain level, like I don't know, it's like I feel like there's a potential for me to almost like offend them if I say something that's like not ready for them to hear.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, like I feel very self-conscious being open
that makes
to
sense.
people who are not aware of it already.
Yeah, I get that. I created a birthday tarot spread for a friend, and their birthday brunch, first card I drew, death. I was like, happy birthday.
That's awesome.
And I think it was like a milestone birthday where this friend was like already feeling kind of older, kind of single about being older and things like that. And I'm like, happy birthday, bitch, it's death.
That's awesome.
And you just kind of laugh at it, and I think like I'm always quick to go, don't worry. Death doesn't always mean dying. And like, and you just kind of like edge the newbies into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Where we're heading.
Okay.
You got the 3 of Wands.
Okay. So, I see another kitty cat. I like it. I'm digging it.
Yeah. The everyday witch. There's a kitty cat on every card.
Well, actually, I'm going to, before you get into the explanation there, babe, I can't help but notice the type of kitty cat that's on that card, and this is the where you're going card.
Oh
Are you
my.
guys adopting a new baby?
I am trying to talk her into a
You don't even
new kitty.
understand how many TikTok I
Mm-hmm.
get per day of just cats.
Oh yeah,
And look, it's a little black kitty,
and
and no
that's
one
what
will
I
adopt
want.
them.
That's what I want. I want the little black kitty. I want to name him Ozzy.
Trina, no one
Ozzy
adopts the black
Posborn.
kitties. It's spooky season.
Yes, it's spooky season.
All right. Well,
Sorry
I'm glad
about
that worked out for you,
Yeah,
JD.
yeah.
All right. When
I
I
know
can,
it's gonna happen eventually, okay? I'm
It
just
will,
gonna drag
yeah.
my feet as long as I can.
Just
Yeah.
wearing her down.
all right. Ooh,
Okay.
I love this for your future. So
Okay.
see how my friend is like on a cliff
Yeah.
looking into the distance, and
Yeah.
the swirlies aren't really showing up, but there's swirlies on the wand.
Okay.
So this one is you harnessed your power and now you must use it.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to
Okay.
get that cat.
Fuck yeah. That's right. That's right.
You're the man of this goddamn house.
Ozzy Posborn. Yeah, I want to play that card.
My fans are going to be like, really? That's where you went with that.
Hey, that's where sometimes you got to whip that card out, and this is an appropriate time. I want my goddamn kitty.
Oh,
He's just stomping around
Right.
like the
Coco
tarot
the
said that I
goddamn gorilla.
could.
Tarot said it had a black cat. I want to name him Ozzy Posborn.
Okay, seriously, you don't understand. He's actually gonna use that on me.
I know. I
It was
know.
on my
I just,
future card.
you know, I love to create chaos in homes that aren't mine. Like, you know, that's what I love to do.
Hell yeah.
The Arcana meeting, because you've already connected to it. You're like, oh, the future, a black cat named Ozzy. So basically, the magic people, they were cool with my interpretation, and they were like, focus. You have whatever you want right there in your grasp. You've already obtained it, and now we use it. And
Awesome.
never lose sight of what you want.
Fuck yes.
Fuck yeah.
Oh, hell
The cards were kind to you, my friend.
They were. Oh,
They didn't want to embarrass me on a recording. They were like, okay, get our shit together.
And we did not we didn't fucking do any camera tricks. This was we went straight. This was legit.
No, I don't even know how to do camera tricks to even. Could you imagine me just stumbling trying to cheat this?
I love it.
Yes, my little everyday witch tarot that I bought at Gen Con to make my dad uncomfortable. But it was mostly because the artist, Elizabeth Alba, I loved all of her art prints of witches just doing everyday things in their homes. And the cards are all of her art prints. So I was like, oh, I could just own 78 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Trina, I think it's your turn to do some pulling. I think you should pull for Natalie.
Oh, this is fun.
Hell yeah.
Because I never get pulled for, hardly ever.
Yeah. I don't have a deck, so I can't do any pulling.
All right. So I think I'm probably just gonna stick with the same method that you are doing.
Sure.
So I'll pull 3, past, present, future. And you can just tell me when to stop.
All right.
All right. Oh, sorry. One was already pulled for you.
Oh, do you do pop outs? I usually only do pop outs for myself because then people are like, why is there an extra one? I'm like, because it wanted to talk to you.
Hey, you know what? If it pops out, it pops out. Okay?
If it popped out, and sometimes what you do, JD, is if one pops out and there's a card in your reading where you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
If you partner the one that popped out,
Like
with
it makes it connects.
It makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more context to your reading.
Word.
All right. So is that what you want to, is that how you want to pull? Do you want to pull a past? You still want to press a past one?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. Tell me when to stop.
Stop. It's like the cheese at the spaghetti factory.
Yep.
You're like, how much cheese is too much cheese?
It's like, just, I hope you warmed your hand up, buddy.
All right, and tell me when to stop.
Stop.
So you actually got to pop out on that one too.
Oh,
My
shit.
gosh.
Two
The
pop-
Trina's deck knows that I haven't read for myself in a while, and we're like, we're gonna catch that bitch up.
Right.
All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. So the very first card, and that was a pop out, was the Hermit.
Oh yeah.
All
I've
right,
really
so that
been
was-
connected to my inner introvert for a lot of
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
And that is, you know, like the Hermit is taking time for yourself and
Yeah.
doing the self-love and really, you know, just taking care of yourself, taking a time out.
And you know what's fun? The Hermit is my birth card. If you do the little formula that you have to Google to do the math, I get the
Okay.
Hermit.
All right, so then your actual past card is, I don't know if you can see it here.
Seven
So
of
it's
fire.
Seven of Fire. Yeah.
That's a cool
so
looking
for-
card.
Yeah, so this is a this card is probably one of my favorites. It is
Mhm.
it is a unicorn on top of a mountain. So like you are, I mean, to me that just is like such a massive representation. Like you are
Mhm.
just, and that kind of, to me, it's like your podcast. Like you're on top of this mountain and you're, you know, you're kind of like have your sword ready
Yeah.
and you're you
And
know,
the
just
only
telling it how it is.
Yeah, and the only reason I got to the point where I could be loud on the internet about misogyny is because during the quarantine, I sat a lot with myself like a hermit, like we all had to.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned a lot about what I can do and what I can believe and what I do believe.
Yeah.
I love that
like,
that was the pop out.
Another thing that I kind of take into consideration when I'm reading cards is numbers
Mhm.
of the suit. So 7, the number 7 is associated with seeking wisdom.
Yeah.
And kind of like figuring out which direction you want to go, almost like kind of in like a crossroad type
Yeah.
feel. So yeah, you know, the unicorn on the mountain has a better view
Mhm.
of where you might want to go.
Yeah.
Also, that's a second 7 that's been pulled
Yeah.
in this whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's meaningful.
No,
But is
numerology.
7 a lucky number?
Yeah, one time for D&D, when I was doing my dice ritual to see who was going to get to play that day, I kept rolling, I think it was 6s.
Oh,
And I was
shit.
like, but it got past 666. So I was like, okay, it's not that.
Yeah.
Or it might have even been a 4 or something. It was some number that I was like, remember to look up that number in numerology to be like, what are your dice trying to tell you?
Yeah.
And I think I did. I looked it up and then I told my D&D party about it, but I didn't like put it in the goddamn Discord thread. I just told them while we were playing. So now I don't remember.
It's just
what I
lost forever.
What I looked up. Yeah.
Lost forever. But yeah, so and so like we were talking about earlier how my deck, it all my suites are element based.
Mhm.
So fire in an original, like an original tarot, is associated with wands.
Yeah.
So that's kind of your intentions, passions, you know, stuff like that.
That really makes sense for this call.
Yeah.
Because what do we do when we get together? We create and we create passion.
Yes.
They know. They always know.
Yeah, they do.
All right, so I'm gonna move on to your present day.
Okay.
So this card is the Ace of Water. Yes.
I've seen that card before. I love that card.
Yeah, so this is a seahorse holding a pearl. And with my suites, the water element is associated with cups.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of that is associated with emotions
Yeah.
and like kind of your deep shadow work and um really kind of embodying
Yeah.
with the ace. This is kind of um the primal meaning of the element, so your primal meaning of water, and like really get tapping into those emotions.
Mm-hmm. Can I tell you that when you become a creator and you're putting stuff like this online, you really need to prepare yourself for a lot of shadow work, because when you are sitting quietly with yourself in the middle of the night, like these thoughts will creep into your head like, are your friends really your friends? Do people appreciate that you're telling your story? And things like that. And you truly, like, it's such, for one thing, like telling our stories really allows us to gain perspective on our
Yeah.
stories, and that's shadow work within itself. But I understand why that card has been pulled. Sometimes Natalie is a little insecure
It happens.
in the middle of the night while she's watching Critical Role.
We finished Vox Machina, by the way. Totally off topic, but we finished it. I
They got
fucking love it. I need another season.
They got
Holy
renewed
shit.
for 2 and 3. They announced it at New York Comic Con.
Are you
My friends aren't.
serious?
Yeah,
2
my friends
and
aren't going to
3?
go down. Mm-hmm.
We got so obsessed. Sorry, I didn't mean to take us off topic, but like we got so obsessed. Such a good
Do-
time.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, I think at some point you and I are going to do a Critical Role D&D. Like,
Yeah.
I just get to talk to you about why I
Yeah.
love the Critical Role people.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
My
We're gonna do it.
passion.
And we're going to talk about Scandal's Hand.
Scandal's Hand. Oh my God. I love Sam Riegel. I would never want to tell him.
Why?
One day he will hear me say it on mic, because like when he play, like
We're going to send this right to him.
he's like a little gremlin of chaos. And I always say, like, if Sam Riegel and I ran into one another in the bar,
Yeah.
everything would either burn or everything would get fixed. It would be one of the one of the two.
I love it. I fucking love it.
All right, so you ready for your what's to come?
Yeah, and I got 2 cards for this one too, right?
You do.
Mm.
All right, so I'm gonna do the pop out last.
Okay.
All right, so the one that you told me to stop on is the Fool.
Ooh.
I don't know if you can see it very well.
Look how
But
pretty your Fool is. I need to get this deck because I'm obsessed with it.
it's so pretty. So it's a fairy blowing a horn. Okay, so typically for the Fool, like what that kind of tells me is like there's a risk that you're gonna be you're gonna have to make a decision on whether or not you want to take a risk, and it may not make sense to other people. Like people may look at you and you're like, and they'll be like, what the hell is Natalie doing? But it's like there's just this gut feeling that it's like, no, this is the path that I need to take.
Yeah.
That is what the Fool is for me. It's
Yeah,
like
and to
it's
me,
following your own path, even if it seems completely nuts to everyone else around you.
And doing it blindly. Like, you don't need the context. You don't need all of the information. You're just going, baby.
Yep. You are fully embodying yourself, and you are trusting yourself to the fullest.
Fullest.
The fullest. I love a pun.
Yeah. So I think that's awesome, and I definitely can see that being the case for you. Like just being in the world that you are, like that's probably a constant thing in where you're trying to go. So very cool. All right, so your pop out is the Page of Air.
That's another beautiful one.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
Yeah, so the air ones, I really like them because they're kind of like, they're almost like angels.
Yeah.
In this deck, and it's really pretty. So air is associated with swords. That's your thoughts, that's your mind. And with this is, she's kind of she's looking upward. She's looking, trying to get a good,
I know it's so hard on camera.
yeah, trying to get a good image here. Okay, yeah, so she's looking upward. She's looking to the sky. And with pages, that like we were talking about earlier, pages are new beginnings. They're there's something fresh, and bringing something new to the table.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, I'm excited.
Hell
Which,
yeah.
I mean,
Another
to me-
curveball.
To
Yeah.
me, like, it really kind of ties in with the Fool, because it's,
Yeah.
you know, you're taking a risk at something potentially new.
Yeah. I would be so down if the Fool started to replace my friend the Tower. Because again, that's like a gentle, like, you're making a choice still. You just don't know what's going to happen. And the
Yeah.
Tower is like, we're making the choice. And now you have to deal with it.
Yeah, like the Fool, you kind of do have a little bit of control there. It's like
Mhm.
your choice
Yeah.
to make that change.
Yeah.
Whereas the Tower, it's like, no, this is fated. This is happening. Like, you have to, you know,
Buckle up, Buttercup.
like, yeah.
Are you going to put fairy tale sound effects when we do
You're
as the
absolutely right.
transitions?
I've begun to add more like music and shit to the show.
Yes.
So yeah, we're 100% there's gonna be sound effects. It's gonna be amazing.
I can't help but break the fourth wall during podcasting where I'm like, hi, anyone who might be listening.
That's the good thing about this is like there is a fourth wall, but like
Mhm.
it's also like time and dimensions don't really exist in the
That's right.
Weirdoverse. So it's all just like
Time is a construct.
that's right. Everybody at home is really here because time isn't real.
Mm-hmm. That's right. You're sitting with us.
That's right. They're with us. And actually, it's funny because like we're preparing for Halloween, but
We
like
are.
when they're actually hearing this, it's going to be after Halloween. So like we are talking to you from the past.
In the future.
That's right. Fucking metal. Go ahead.
All right, Trina, past, present, and future. Or is there
Alright.
something else? All right.
Works for me.
Shuffle them good so you don't get your husband's reading. You deserve your own independent reading.
It would be funny if the black cat showed back up though.
Would it?
It would, Mr.
It would
Ozzy
almost-
Osbourne.
It would almost be a sign.
From the fates.
Okay.
All right. Tell me when to stop.
All right, stop.
All right. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
All right. You got one of my favorite cards.
Oh shit.
I have the coloring book for the art of this deck, and I colored it lovingly. So for your past, and this is my favorite card, you got the 9 of Cups. Look at her.
Okay.
Oh, that's
She's
awesome.
so serene.
No, she's at the beach.
She's at the beach.
There's a cat.
She's meditating.
Oh, there's a crab.
There is a crab. Oh
There is a
shit!
crab. Do you need to get a crab?
Well, okay.
I've been wanting to get a hermit crab. Like,
No, I'm Cancer. I'm, I'm all about the ocean. I love water. Like, I'm a water sign.
Oh my gosh. So, in your past, that is now affecting your present and future. When I look at this card, it always, like, I just take a deep breath and I'm like, finally, I am at peace with whatever the fuck I have and whatever the fuck is going on.
is that the pass card?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at GD.
Oh shit!
All right, what's that saying to you, Bev?
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
dude. Okay. So like, we're not gonna put all of your information on the internet here, but like, there is some family drama, family issues, some things that perhaps keep you up at night. Like I said, I'm being as vague as I can without just completely putting your full-on business out on the internet. Well, actually, they could read. This is a good plug. They could read about it on your blog a little bit.
There you go.
Because it is on there. So there's definitely, I'm definitely like a lot of like past serenity. That's
Yeah.
man.
Well, and don't get me
a lot of acceptance of the past.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, JD, I love you, but Trina and I are always talking about when we're on a show together how we've had to do this for like years.
Yeah.
Like we just had to come to accept it.
Right.
I think that has a lot to do with shadow work in general. Like you're really just coming to terms with your past and
Yeah. And our fancy Oracle Arcana people, they say that card always represents a wish that was granted, and it reminds you to keep working for your future successes because they'll be a coming.
Hell yeah.
All right. I was kind of hoping you would pull straight cups because wouldn't that be a thing that we could then discuss? But you got 2 out of 3.
And
so
that ain't bad.
That's right. So it's the Ace of Cups.
The Ace of Cups.
The Ace of
your ring. What is that?
I think it's labradite. I wear it every day and then I forget what it's made out of. I love my cups ladies because they always have the most serene look on their face. Like, it's fine. We've got a cup.
We're just accepting it. You know, okay.
I'm just a lady with a cup.
I'm sober right now, but like that just makes me think of like, what is in that cup?
What's in that cup, lady? Oh, I love my interpretation for this one. When I saw this one, while I was connecting with my deck and writing notes on each individual card, I went, oh, it's like peace and calm are overflowing from you. Like now you have all of that to give because it's dripping from the cup and it's growing like a little plant.
I have my cup is full.
Yeah.
Other people, I can give it to other people.
Yes. Like now you get to take all of that love and like all of that work that you did, and now you get to like pass it on, which I think is where we want to be at a surplus. So then we help other people. You're getting out of that scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That definitely fits very well with my present every day.
And then
that's amazing.
The magic people are like, you're blessed and joy is upon you. Yeah. The universe is trying to gift you something. Oh my gosh, you have a gift. And then for your future, we have our friend, the 2 of Wands, holding the world. I think this means that you're going to have to be in charge of the world.
Oh, shit.
I like that.
Yeah, you're in charge now. I'm sure that's what I wrote down when I looked at this card. I'm like, fuck, that's a lot of responsibility. Or I thought of the old church song, he's got the whole world
in his hands.
But my interpretation was actually look towards your power. That makes sense because he's holding the whole world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your power over the world. What is it that you guard? So what is it that you're like keeping safe for everyone? That makes sense because you're overflowing now. And now you kind of have to like delegate, like, okay, this is what's going to help you the most. This is what's going to help me the most. So I'm keeping it. Like, yeah.
Oh, I am feeling that reading. That is awesome.
Yeah. Well, and then the Arcana meaning, which I think is important because we do this a lot, is to stop pondering the entire world, make a choice. Like, you know what your choices are. It does not matter what's going on here. Like, what's going on here, make it. Make a move. Make a move.
That is pretty spot on.
Oh my gosh.
I would say so.
I think the cards were so kind to us. Like, no one threw a tantrum. Like, no one was like...
No one's got a curse on them or anything. Like...
I will say that a lot of people are way more like, I don't want to say strict, but they are more intentional with their ritual around the tarot. So nothing bad clings to them from the other.
That makes sense.
Sometimes I have a candle burning. Sometimes I'm like, I just need to do this.
Yeah.
And I think because like I draw from within, I'm like, well, it's not going to be me that hurts myself, maybe. And so it's fine. We're not even consulting outside sources.
You don't even contemplate the whole self-sabotage thing. That's just not a thing.
Not even a
it's
thing.
Not going to be a thing.
Not even a thing.
But I will say that there are more experienced people than me, and they have a wild like set of rules that they've created for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing that you kind of have to remember with anything involving witchcraft is like there are so many different styles and forms. Like I definitely tend to lean more on the like whatever feels right to me, that's how I'm gonna do it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily follow like a specific set guidelines like
Yeah.
on how you're supposed to do something. It really is my own intuition and what feels right to me. But I, like Natalie said, there are definitely schools of thought that are much more strict.
Yeah.
It's like we do this the same way every time.
We don't
Mhm.
deviate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I try to set up those rituals for myself where I'm like, this is now my routine, as always, I go, I don't even want to do that routine anymore because
Fuck
I'm
that
defiant
routine.
as fuck. Fuck that routine. I made up my own rules and now I hate my rules.
I'm gonna rebel against my own rules.
Right. That's how hardcore I am. I'm so punk rock. I can't even
I
give
got kicked out of
myself
school
rules.
after the 12th grade, man. Like, I fucking love it. Well, this has been a blast. So, Trina, tell everybody where they can find you.
All right. Well, there are a few places right now. Unstable Unicorn on TikTok is probably my most active place. But I am also working on a blog. It's easy, the letter N, and awesome, easyandawesome.com. Definitely more to come on that one. But yeah, so those
Yeah.
are my two big projects at the moment.
All right.
Excellent.
Well, let me
Natalie,
tell
where
you.
can everybody find you?
Hopefully, one day playing Unstable Unicorns with the two of you because I have the game.
That will be a thing at some point. That will be a thing.
But if you're not invited to that party, there is no shortage of me on the internet. So you can find To All the Men I've Tolerated Before your weekly dose of everyday misogyny and telling it to go away. Every Thursday, wherever you find podcasts. If you follow the Instagram at Men I've Tolerated Pod, then that's the link to all of our merch, Patreon episodes, all of it. And if you can't find anything, if it's just too stressful, you can DM me at Natalie K124 or Men I've Tolerated Pod. And then the Natalie K124 is also my TikTok with all my fuckery.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And all you weirdos know where to find me. You find me on TikTok and Instagram at Dudist Weirdo. I'm always doing some nonsense on there. And if you're on YouTube, leave us a comment. Make sure to follow the page. If you're listening on the just audio only, you might be missing out on a little bit of the visuals here. So maybe join us on the YouTube. But if you just prefer listening, that's cool. But leave a review if you like what you're hearing. If not, if you don't want to leave a 5-star, then just fuck off. But if you like what you're hearing and want to leave a 5-star, super appreciate it. I am currently working on improving the website for the show. Eventually, I'm going to have like profiles for all the nonsense characters that I've created and all that good stuff. But make sure to tell your friends. Get some more Kool-Aid drinkers in this cult. We need to get more, just a little bit of word of mouth going on. Tell your friends. Tell everyone.
I've always
your
wanted to be in a
friends.
cult, and I'm so glad that I'm finally here.
See, it's fun. We have fun in this cult. It's not
We
one of
have
those death cults.
cookies.
We've got cookies in this cult.
Sometimes
Join the
cults
cult.
can be chill. Like, I'm just
Exactly.
saying that, like, a few people gave cults a bad name.
Yeah.
And
not all
decided to
cults
not
are
be
bad.
chill about it.
This is a cult based around fun weirdness. So
Yeah.
get in here and have a good time. Join us next week for another round of strangeness. And until then, keep it weird.